welcome to Ethics and Optics. It's a podcast show that questions what you believe, what you think should be, should not be. And of course, we also dive into the blurry spaces between perception and responsibility in public relations and marketing. My name is Noella, Kharyne, Yalley, and of course, I've got my guest in the studio, able guest, to discuss a scenario that a viewer and a listener has sent to us. Of course, together, we're going to be unpacking the ethics behind the spin right here on the show, right after this. You're welcome back to Ethics and Optics, the podcast show. And of course, before we went for that break, I told you that we've got a scenario we're going to be discussing with my able panelists. And of course, I'm going to read that scenario to you, after which I'm going to introduce my panelists to you, and we're going to get into the discussion proper. So here's what it says. A well-known microfinance finance company in Ghana heavily relied on strategic PR and marketing campaigns to reassure the public that their savings were safe. Now, the campaigns were convincing, and some of the top PR professionals in the country were behind them, carefully managing the company's image and actively discrediting critics who raised red flags about potential financial mismanagement. Unfortunately, the company eventually collapsed and thousands of customers lost their savings. Now, when the backlash began, the PR firm distanced itself, saying, we only managed the brand or the image of the firm, not their finances. I want to ask, is this even a right stance for PR people to have? Is it a fair line to draw? And to help me discuss, I've got Mrs. Mabna Comfort Wilson. She's a PR professional. Also, I've got Mr. Kevin Osai Ahene. He says I should refer to him as a PR practitioner, so that's what he is. And we've got Jessica Alma, who is a PR enthusiast. She hopes to one day take public relations as a profession. And so I've got these beautiful ladies and gentlemen with me in the studio. Hi.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Yeah, doing well.
Okay, so I'm going to go with you, Mr. Practitioner. You've heard the scenario. Is that a fair line to draw as a PR person?
Yes.
Okay, tell me why.
Why? Because a PR firm, they are in charge in managing and advising the company, but they are not the ones auditing their finances.
Okay.
So if the company the company goes contrary to what the PR firm advises them to do, you are not supposed to blame the PR firm. We have boundaries, and we work within that boundaries. And so if we haven't seen something, we can't also open up to say, this is what is going on. We are in charge in managing and advising the company, not in telling them to decide on. We manage them all right, but the decision they're supposed to take, we are not part.
With finances, you mean?
Yes, specifically in finances.
Okay.
So if someone out there will blame PR firms for what is going on, and no, please.
Yeah, you think they are right to have said that? Yeah, they.
Yes. Comfort. Because we work within our boundaries.
Okay. Comfort. You're also arguing for, the PR stance, saying that they're right to say that they only manage the brand and not the finances of the company, and so they cannot be blamed. What do you have to say?
Yeah. So as Kevin said, I believe one is to just manage and advise the company. We are not supposed to, check the finance aspects of the company. We are to just advise them. So whatever is going on, that shouldn't be our case. I believe we are just there to manage them, and that's it.
But you believe that you're supposed to not check the finances, but aren't you supposed to know?
We are there to manage them. We are not there to check the finances.
To check the finances.
Yeah. As a PR professional, I don't think we are to check the finance.
And even regarding Sorry.
Oh, you want to jump in?
Even
Go
regarding
ahead.
the finances, if the company is willing to open up that to us, then that's fine.
But I mean, you are a part of the company. You're a PR professional, a part and parcel of the company. It means that for you to even represent the company as a public relations person, you must know the ins and outs of the company. You must know their core values, their everything. You have to breathe and sleep the company. So is it right to say that, oh yeah, we knew about the finances, but we didn't care about it because we had to just manage their image?
So what if they didn't open up to us?
What if the company didn't? But is it the company's, is it their role to open up, or is it your role to find out and ask questions?
The PR company acts based on the information given to them by the client. So if the company doesn't give them such information, you don't expect them to poke their nose into other people's business. That is not their business.
Okay.
If they knew about it and they kept mute about it, then we can blame them.
Okay.
But since they don't know, we can't blame them. And I don't think the company will tell the PR firm, this is what we are doing, because it is not ethical. And the PR company will not, PR firm will not support it. So I don't think we should blame the PR firm for this.
Oh, okay. Interesting takes. Well, if you're still watching, this is Ethics and Optics, where we discuss everything public relations and marketing. And we have a scenario we're discussing that has to do with a firm that had to do with microfinance. Obviously, there were people who saw some signs and tales of mismanagement, looming, and, made their reservations known, but obviously that fell on deaf ears. Today, that firm has collapsed, and the PR people that represented that company, they are distancing themselves from the collapse of that company, saying that, you know what, we don't know anything about, the image, the finances, I beg your pardon, of the company. We just managed the image. Now, we've got some, we posted this scenario actually on social media for comments, and we had some comments. If you don't mind, I'd like to share some with you. So Ajwa Datrut, I blame both the PR firm and the company. If you sell people a dream that turns into a nightmare, you can't claim innocence. PR is not just about hype, it's about responsibility. What do we have to say about this? Mr. Kevin?
Okay.
Noella.
Yeah. That was a heavy sigh. That was really a heavy sigh, Mr. Kevin. And viewers, you are reminded that my panelists, this batch of my panelists, they are arguing for, the stance taken by the PR firm of the company. So, I mean, I read that message. This is somebody clearly saying that it's about your job. It's about responsibility, taking responsibility where you erred.
I agree. But I think people do not really understand the job of a PR firm. We are not investigators.
Okay.
As I said,
That's powerful. That's really punchy.
Yes.
Okay.
As I said, we work within our boundaries. And also PR professionals or PR firms, we have some kind of theories that also guide us.
Okay.
That we follow in order to make sure we do not tarnish the image of the company or
Of the client.
of the client.
Oh, okay.
And regarding this approach, I would say that the deontological approach will help.
Okay.
The theory will help.
Okay.
Why? Because we also this is like we follow our moral values. We follow whether is the company something good or bad comes out. We follow the rules regarding our moral values.
Okay.
And here lies the case. We manage this company.
Okay.
We are the ones giving advice to them.
Okay.
They didn't follow that.
They didn't follow the advice you gave.
And they rather went contrary
Okay.
to it. I don't know why it's coming back to us that, fine, we told you, do this, do that, do this, do that. But when it comes to you people also have meetings that it's not all the time the PR firm is involved. So, Adam, I would say that we are not aware of any of this.
I mean, I find it very interesting that Mr. Osai actually thinks that, in this case or in this scenario, they offered advice, but they did not listen. Clearly, the scenario said that people raised concerns and the PR practitioners kept on discrediting the concerns that their publics were raising. but it's fine. We're out of time. And so we're going to say bye-bye to our first panelists. They argued for the stance that the PR practitioner or practitioners are taking in this scenario we're discussing right here on Ethics and Optics. When we come back from this breather, we're going to bring in a new set of, guests that are going to also talk about this scenario. This time they'll be arguing against the notion right after this. You're welcome back. It's Ethics and Optics, your favorite public relations and marketing podcast show. Obviously, we discuss a lot of public relations related scenarios, and it's no different from today. We have a scenario we've been talking about, and for the benefit of those who just joined in, well, you're welcome. I'm going to go through the scenario just so you can follow, and then I'm going to introduce my new set of guests to you as well. So it says a well-known microfinance company in Ghana heavily relied on strategic public relations and marketing campaigns to reassure the public that their savings were safe. Now, the campaigns were convincing, and some of the top PR professionals in the country were behind them, carefully managing the company's image and actively discrediting critics who raised red flags about potential financial mismanagement. Unfortunately, the company eventually collapsed, and thousands of customers lost their savings. When the backlash began, the PR firm distanced itself, saying, "We only manage the brand, not the finances." And earlier we had some PR practitioners join me in studio. They spoke in favor of this stance, but I've got a new set of panelists who are so against this stance. And helping me is Miss Benedicta Asante. She's a PR practitioner of many years. Also, I've got Miss Doriana Akofa, a PR practitioner. And I've got Janet Akakpo, who's also a PR practitioner. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Prince Mensa, known as Silverline, is a PR enthusiast, okay? He's not a practitioner yet, but he's on his way. Anyway, but Akofa will be joining us pretty shortly. But first, you're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I was so looking forward to this part of the show because, I wasn't really feeling the previous guests. I didn't like their stance, but it's fine. What do we make of this? Who wants to go first? Mr. Silverline.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, so with this, I think as a PR practitioner, you are to help your company to be a whistleblower or to have trust in their customers. So when it happens that a company collapses, it means as a PR practitioner, you are involved.
Right.
It is a red flag as a PR practitioner to be in an organization or a firm for it to collapse. Yeah, so
right.
To me, I think it is not fair for a PR practitioner to be in a firm for such incidents to happen.
But you raise a very important point. You say that it's a red flag for a PR person to be in a company and the company collapses. Why is that? Is it because they play integral roles in the management? When I say management, not just about brand management, in the internal management of the firm, or what?
Yeah, okay, as a PR practitioner, I think you play a major role in a firm or in an organization because you are to...
Bridge the gap between the publics?
Yes, you are the intermediate between the company and the public.
Great.
Yes. So I think as a PR practitioner, you play a major role in a company.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Mrs. Akako, what do you? Oh, pardon me, Miss Akako. She's not married yet. Anyway, what do you make of the scenario? Is it a good stance to say that, oh, don't blame us, we're not part of the, mismanagement of the...
No, honestly, I don't agree with what they are saying because as a PR person, PR practitioner, you're able to convince thousands of people to trust your brand. Yeah, so as the situation is at hand right now, you can't say, oh, okay, I've said my part, so the rest is for the firm. No. If you're able to convince thousands of people to believe or trust your brand, you should also be responsible when there's any issue and stand inside the firm and also talk to the people that, I was able to convince the people to come and trust my brand. And since the situation too is here, we all come together. You can't say, no, I'm not part. It's just for the firm. No.
And in fact, the scenario actually even raises a very worrying trend that there are publics, right? They raised concerns. There were people who had serious concerns, saw red flags about the mismanagement of funds at the firm and raised those concerns. And I'm sure as PR practitioners, you'll agree with me when I say that it's a PR person's job to look at what the public is saying and, bring it back to the firm and see how they can go about, managing the situation. But in this case, they rather were discrediting, the critics of the firm. What does that tell us about, this PR people?
Okay,
Ms. Benedicta.
Okay, so honestly speaking, this is where ethical boundaries of public relation get tested. So PR isn't about crafting a pretty image,
right?
But building trust and managing reputation integrity.
It's about integrity, right?
Yes.
And also with this, I think it draws us back to the theories of ethics, which talks about the utilitarian.
Right.
Yeah, and also it talks about favoring the majority of the people.
Right.
Yeah. So I think
so in this case, you think the majority were the people, the people that lost your funds.
Yes.
And so it's ethically right that the PR person would stand with the public.
Yes.
Awesome stuff. Well, this is the part where I invite Ms. Akopa to join us. She is also a practitioner. Or should I say she's a marketer? She's a jack of all trades, okay? And she's going to be joining us to share with us her insights as well. So, guys, let's welcome Ms. Akopa. Beautiful Akopa. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So you have been listening in on the conversation we've been having. What do you have to say?
I just feel like as PR practitioners, if their role is to shape the public's perception, so if they discredited their critiques,
right?
They contributed to
the failure of the firm. I love it. Anyway, I've got some comments because we posted the scenario on our socials and we got some comments, and so I'm going to read a few of them and then we can ponder about these comments as well. And so Kwame_thinks says, come on, the PR firm knew what was up. You don't discredit whistleblowers unless you're protecting something shady. They were part of the damage, full stop. And this speaks to what you just said, that indeed the fact that they discredited these people, it meant that they were a part. They actively participated in, the mismanagement of finances, something you're distancing themselves away from. Ifwa_code says, here's an interesting take from this scenario, but let's be real, PR firms aren't auditors. The company lied to them. What could they have done? Let's not blame messengers for a broken system. So I guess this speaks to, the stance our first guest, batch of guests, were arguing for. They were arguing for, this scenario that indeed they were right in saying that, don't blame us. I mean, what can we do? If we advise you don't want to take it, I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, the real Nana also says, the PR firm can't act like their hands are clean. You reassured the public. That makes you a player, not a spectator. I love this comment. What do we make of it?
So just as my sister Janet said, that as a PR practitioner, you can convince thousands of people to trust
Right.
what you say.
Right.
So it means
You can persuade.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, you can persuade thousands of people. So it means that you play a major role in this thing. So you can't
You
say
can't sit back and say that, oh, don't
your hands
touch
are
me.
clean or
Right.
you know nothing about
Right.
it. You are part of this thing. So they just have to accept the fact that they are part.
And look at ways, okay,
Then
we're going to look at
ways
how
to
they can
solve
remedy it quickly, how they can go around it. But let me read one last comment. And it's from Josephine Wright. Says, this case should be taught in PR ethics classes. Where do we draw the line between strategic communication and moral accountability? I love this. And shouts to one of our lecturers, very, very great lecturer, Mr. Adam. I remember in one of our classes, I was in class with you, remember, Silverline? And he taught us about some of these ethics. He was very passionate during his lecture. So shouts to you, Mr. Adam. Sorry, I've forgotten your surname. So yeah, anybody? Yeah, Mr. Adam Kujo, shouts to you.
I think he even made an example, a scenario about dating.
Right.
And he made a certain arrow.
Hey, Silverline caught it because there was a
from
date.
bad, good, and this.
Right.
Yeah, so it was an interesting.
It was great.
lecture, yeah.
This has been really fun and really insightful and educative. But let's look at how they can remedy this. Now the firm has collapsed. Is it too late to remedy the situation? It's too late, huh? Benedicta?
No.
It's not too late? Okay, we don't have time. I would have asked you why you think it's not too late, but is it too late?
To me, it's not too late because since they have influence and they can convince people, they still stand the chance to convince people about what's happening. For people to understand.
But they should first take accountability.
Yes. There is need for accountability for that one.
Accountability, awesome. Akofa.
I think they can still be transparent about it.
Right, okay. And last but certainly not least,
they can
you
still
think they
come
can
out
remedy?
with some. They can come and speak to the public that, we are putting things in place to make sure everything stands again. That's also
awesome. Okay, so that has been our conversation on ethics and optics. This is our second episode, and we're so happy that you keep us going by subscribing to our channels and watching and commenting and sending us scenarios as well. We love it, so keep doing that. Until next time, my name is Noella, Kharyne, Yalley. In fact, before I go, let me shout out to my crew members. We didn't do this alone. We did this with the help of camera technicians, I should say, because we have ladies in there as well. Script writers. We had sound technicians as well. You know what? We've got a few of them. We want them to come on air or on stage. This is not a stage. This is a set. Come on, set. Let's say bye-bye together. Right. So we have beautiful ladies. No, come in here. Come in here so we can all see your beautiful faces. Awesome. Okay. So these are our beautiful crew members. Some of them are still manning the camera, so they can't come in, okay? But yeah, we've had fun on the show, haven't we?
Yeah.
Awesome. So until our next episode, keep listening and watching Ethics and Optics. Bye-bye. Bye.